Alright, so I got the very expensive cedar plywood here, which was a special order. The handling or shipping, I think it was handling? Packaging, that's what it was. The packaging on this was 13 bucks because it was actually two pieces of 3/8 plywood on both sides of this sheet, and then it was wrapped with like 2x2s on top and bottom, and then like a plastic weather wrap over this. So yeah, it's expensive stuff. I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous cutting into this. You can kind of see my lines. They're pretty faint. Like right here there's a line. It's for cutting out for the steps. I didn't want to draw the lines too dark because I don't know if I got the right measurements here. It's really hard to get a measurement. I don't want to take it off the floor. I'm leaving about, what am I leaving off the floor? A 1/4 inch? No, it's more than that. Must be like 3/8 of an inch I'm leaving off the floor. So I got my first measurement that I took was like 89 something. That's right here. So I'm cutting off about this much to this point. That comes out. And then our first step coming down is going to be right in here. And then we'd cut across. I think that's correct. I don't know. What do they usually say? Cut twice, measure once? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I honestly don't. I just don't want to cut into this. So I don't even know if I got like, it's really hard to tell if you got this square. I'll have to take like probably 2 measurements here again to double check that. Yeah, and I know it's measure twice and cut once is being funny. This is going to be measured like a couple times and check it, because it would really be a shame if you miscut something and then it doesn't quite end up right. So yeah, that's where I'm at with this right now. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so I used this piece of cardboard as kind of a template and drew out the steps here as we see it. I guess the reason that this is difficult is you got to take so many measurements. So the first one's off the floor. This should get me the overall height. And then, so I got like, I think this was like 13 inches. The other thing too is if any of these measurements are off a little bit, I mean, you don't have a lot of play between each one of these marks here for the steps. So this is our first mark. It's 89 something off the floor, 13 something wide. And then we come down, I think I came down 7 5/8 for each step. That seemed like that should give me enough space to get in. Then came over, it was probably like 21 or 22 inches. It's from where the door will be over here, over. Again, came down at 7 5/8 for the step. The next one coming from the door over, this one's going to be like 30. Again, 7 5/8 down. And then coming across from the door frame, this was 38 and something, 3/4, 5/8, I don't remember. I got it written down. 7 5/8 down, and then whatever's left, that gets knocked off, and then the next piece would come on. So that's what we got. That's what it looks like. Yeah. So I drew the lines a little heavier. You can kind of see them. It's really dark down here to be doing this. I got the little jigsaw I'm going to try cutting this out with. I may go back and remeasure everything one more time. I want to make darn sure that I got this. Alright, moment of truth. Well, I guess it's really not the moment of truth, but it's the moment of no turning back, I guess. This is going to bounce around really bad. I can tell already. Alright, so this is what it looks like. It turned out like I expected. Even with a ton of measuring, the steps aren't exactly square. So when you do try to get this cut just right, a piece of paneling, where each cut depends on the next cut, and it's got to be square. So you'll see like here it's close, you know, and this could be cutting with the jigsaw too, that there's a little space. But this here, It's got a lot to do with the space above here, and you can see how this is, and I was taking into account that there was going to be a gap here. And then this top one too, ton of space, notched this out to try to get it up. This here, I'd actually cut the top off because that wouldn't fit. Wouldn't fit through the frame. And then, let's see, so going down. Yeah, so I'm not in love with that at all. I'm also not in love with the way the steps come down on this side here, because I was just going to leave this like that. So what I did was pick up some pine, I don't know, is this 1/2 by 3/4, I think. I think they call it like stop molding or something. So what I'm going to attempt to do, because I have a miter saw coming, is put a piece like that, and then I can't hold this, but here, and then there'd be a piece that comes from this down to meet with this piece and do a nice angle cut there. And we'll see. I don't know if that'll look better, if that's going to look worse. I like the way the paneling looks. That's good. And then I got the door frame in here too. It's just, I just have it set in here for now. That's the way it looks. You can see I got it, comes out flush, and I got a nice tight seam here, so that worked out well all the way down. And that's what I was basing on, that coming out exactly where it should. I don't even know if I'll need anything in there. I know the bottom has a little bit of a space, but I mean, this is a pretty twisty piece of wood here, this door frame here. So yeah, that turned out pretty well. Oh, and then I got some other stuff I'm going to work on here, because still not done with the door. It needs some more shellac, sanding, etc. What I'm going to do is put a box like this here. It'll have a switch outlet, or outlet switch either way, and the conduit will come down from the top, and up in top here I'll have like another box. So more on that once I get closer to that point.